Bigsby's Glory of the Giants brought us a bunch of different feats and a bunch of new build options, so it's been fun to kind of explore some of the things we can do and explore some giant themes. In this build, we're going to be exploring the Dreamwalker. It's a variation on the Stone Giant, and it's something that I'm really excited to play. This video is brought to you by the Crystals of Zaleth. The Crystals of Zaleth is a solo adventure produced by Obvious Mimic. They're the same guys that did the Wolves of Langston, and it's a survival-based campaign as opposed to a murder mystery. I am really looking forward to this product. I loved Wolves of Langston, had a lot of fun playing it. You can see the quality they create. I did a first chapter playthrough of the Wolves of Langston that you can check out, as well as a review. I'm really excited to see how they take the survival genre and what they're going to do with it. So the second I can play, I'm going to. And if they let me cover it on the channel, I will. But with that, my friends, let's jump into the video. I want to give a special shout out to our Patreon member Fledgling, who had a big hand in building out this build. This build depends on two different feats. The first is Strike of Giants, specifically the Stone variation. This deals extra damage and has a chance to push them away 10 feet. So it's great for as a mini smite. In case you get a crit, you can double up and do 2d6 extra damage, or it's great in situations where pushing someone away can have a massive effect, whether that be pushing someone off a cliff, pushing them through spike growth, or just clearing them away from our backline. Has a lot of flexibility and can do a lot of different things. The second is Keenness of the Stone Giant. This is a half feat that can give us either strength, constitution, or wisdom. Gives us 60 extra feet of dark vision, and it gives us Stone Throw, which is a bonus action ranged attack that has a chance to knock enemies prone. So this gives us our flavor. We are definitely going to be more of a Stone Giant oriented build, but specifically the Dreamwalker. Now, a little bit of background. Stone Giants in D&D mostly spend their time underground. It's a very unchanging environment. They view the surface world as a dream because it's so changing. There's weather changing, there's people running around, everything is just odd to them, and so they consider it an actual dream. Now, there's different reasons a stone giant might be outside of the ground. It might be curiosity, it might be that they're looking for inspiration for art, or it might be that they've been ostracized by their society. But whatever the reason is, because they view it as a dream, they view all their actions as having no consequences. Because of their unique perspective, they have an aura around them that charms enemies and makes them feel like they're in a dream as well. They're an interesting monster, and it's fun to do a build that's based off a monster like this one. So that's the flavor I'm going to be aiming towards. I want to get some charms in there. I want to, of course, be a stone giant, and I might want to roleplay around being out of the ordinary and feeling like I'm in a dream almost constantly, at least to begin the character arc. But enough of flavor, let's jump back into the mechanics. Because we have two separate feats, we're going to want to be as stat efficient as possible. And because of the half feat we're going to be picking up, we want to focus either on wisdom, strength, or constitution. For this particular build, I think wisdom really shines. So we're going to want to get our wisdom to 17 right off the bat. That way when we pick up our half feat at level 4, we round it out to 18. Some other stats to consider is we want at least 14 in dexterity for our medium armor, and then we're going to want the rest put into constitution. Notice that we're focused on wisdom, constitution, and dexterity, which allows us to be pretty strong at saves right off the bat. As for our lineage, we're going to be going custom lineage. We're going to want to customize ourselves to look like a mini giant, a mini Dreamwalker, essentially. The main reason we're doing that is so we can pick up the Strike of the Giants right away, and we can also get 60 feet of dark vision. As for our leveling structure, we're going to be going all 20 levels into the Fey Wanderer Ranger. My favorite of the Rangers, the Fey Wanderer Ranger, allows us to do so many things with just the wisdom stat, and that's really going to shine with this build, while also having a similar focus on the charmed condition that the Dreamwalker does. Perfect. So let's jump into the level by level breakdown. Level 1 is a weak level for us. We've invested heavily in wisdom, and we really don't have any wisdom attacks at this point. So overall, we're going to have a medium armor and a shield. We might focus in on darting in and getting a Strike of Giants off to get some extra damage, deal the potential pushes, but more often than not, we might want to just sit back and shoot people at ranged and protect ourselves. We also pick up an expertise. The expertise I'm going to be looking to play with is persuasion. This is a charm-based build. Unlike most rangers, the Fey Wanderer can be a fantastic face, so I really want to explore that here and have an incredible face in my ranger build. I also like playing with the flavor that Dreamwalkers charm people around them, and so do we, even if it's just using a skill at this point. The nice thing about this build is you only have one level that doesn't really work all that well, and many campaigns don't even play in that level 1 area, but if you do, just play safe, because by the time we hit level 2, you're going to be alright. The reason why is we pick up Druidic Warrior. Druidic Warrior allows us to pick up two very important cantrips. The first being Shillelagh, which gives us a wisdom-based based melee attack, but it also gives us magic stone, which gives us a wisdom based ranged attack. So now this wisdom stat that we've invested in, we can use it for our extra attacks, whether it be range or melee. Fantastic. A bonus that comes with magic stone is that it fits our flavor of being a stone giant perfectly. Stone giants are known for their precision based accuracy chucking boulders. So I think that'll be a lot of fun to play with, even if we're just chucking little rocks. We're a little giant. Along with these two cantrips, we also pick up Ranger spellcasting, and the spell that really stands out here is, of course, Entangle. Entangle is a fantastic fight-winning spell. It comes on super early, and because we're invested in Wisdom, it's going to be more powerful for us than it is most Rangers. For the flavor of Entangle, I'm going to be looking at making it stone-based rather than thinking about it as plants. So whether it be tendrils of earth or whatever you come up with, I like to use earth in this situation. Other spells to consider are Zephyr Strike to get in there, hit them, potentially knock them into a bad situation. If it doesn't work, we can still retreat. So it kind of sets up a hit and run playstyle. Ensnaring Strike is very similar to Entangle, but it's single target focused, but it still allows us to deal some extra damage. In certain situations, it'll stand out. Good Berry would be a good spell to cast on our downtime so we can pick people up with those one little berry drops whenever we need. I'm specifically not picking up Hunter's Mark with this build because we're not focusing on doing a bunch of weapon attacks. We're doing a bunch of spells, and even when we do get a bonus action attack, it's a spell attack, and Hunter's Mark only works with weapon attacks. At level 3, we finally become a Fey Wanderer. Fey Wanderer is fantastic. The first thing it's going to do is let us add our wisdom modifier to our charisma skills. So this makes us instantly a better face. On top of that, we're going to get to deal an additional d4 once per turn. This is fantastic because it gives us essentially a mini smite. And when combined with Strike of Giants, which is a d6, we have a very solid single smack. It does a d4, a d6, a d8, plus our wisdom modifier. That's pretty awesome, especially if you're getting a crit off. We also get Charm Person, which is great for out of combat and great for the flavor. At level 4, we're picking up our half-beat Keenness of Stone. This is an awesome moment for us. It rounds out our wisdom, but also gives us a bonus action stone throw. Now, right now we can only do this twice per day, but it does have a bunch of flexibility. It's a bonus action ranged spell attack. On a hit, it's going to deal a d10, and then they're going to have to make a save against our spell save DC, which we've been buffing as much as possible. If they fail it, they're going to be knocked prone. This not only does a little bit of extra damage, it sets us up for a lot of different combos. Combo number 1 is we can use our bonus action while approaching an enemy to attempt to knock them prone. If they're knocked prone, we add advantage on our attacks when we get up to them, so we can smack them, and since we have advantage, we're going to be critting more often, and since we're going to be critting more often, we can drop a Strike of the Giants more often, and so that's going to be basically setting us up with critical smites. Another combination is we can do a ranged spell attack, knock someone prone, and then attempt to entangle them. This is fantastic because now they're restrained while being prone. It's basically doubling up on their problems. Not only are they going to have to break out, then they're going to have to stand up, then they're going to have to move through difficult terrain. Very difficult for them to get out of that situation. Another setup is just to knock them prone and then let our allies who are melee swarm them for us. This feat also gives us an extra 60 feet of dark vision, putting us to 120 feet. This would make us rival the best dark vision in the game if the anomaly that is the Twilight Cleric didn't exist. Now these synergies go further next level when we hit level 5 and we get second level spells as well as extra attack. Extra attack of course just allows us to do everything we were doing better, but it gives us some new spells as well, and the one I really like here is Summon Beast. Summon Beast scales off of our wisdom, which again we've been focused on, and it has fantastic synergy with us knocking an enemy prone, and now we can have the Beast of the Land right up next to them, already attacking them at advantage. Another idea is knocking someone prone and then casting Spike Growth on them. So now they have to stand up and move through difficult terrain and take a bunch of damage, but then they're going to be pretty close, no matter what they do, to the edge of Spike Growth. So this will allow us to position ourselves to do a Strike of Giants to push them back into the Spike Growth. And if we're feeling cheeky, we can chuck another rock at them, and if they're unlucky enough, they can get knocked prone back into the Spike Growth, rinse and repeat. Level 6 is simple. We get a little bit of extra movement speed. Level 7, we get our next Fey Wanderer feature. This feature allows us to have advantage on Frightened and Charm checks, which is always fantastic, especially when we already have such a good wisdom. It really makes our wisdom saves absolutely solid. Combined with Ranger's natural dexterity proficiency in their saves, we have fantastic saves across the board. This feature also gives us a reaction. When somebody fails a Charm or Frightened check, we can use our reaction to make someone charmed or frightened again. It's a really fantastic double down. It protects our allies and it punishes our enemies, and it can synergize with allies. It has a ton of flexibility. Eventually we're going to be using it a lot ourselves, but for now it's just a more passive buff. At level 8, we want to maximize our wisdom. It makes everything we do better, so let's get it here. At level 9, we get a crucial spell in Summon Fey. Summon Fey is not only going to be a better version of Summon Beast, it deals more damage, it's going to take advantage of our stone throw the same way that Summon Beast would. We can give it a magic short sword so it gets over normal, resistant additions to non-magical bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing that the beast cannot. But most importantly, if we summon Mirthful, it's going to be attempting to spread around the charmed condition. It's often going to fail, and when it does, it procs our reaction to give someone the frightened or charmed condition. This really sets us up for success again and again and again, gives us really consistent, powerful, controlling reactions. At level 10, we're picking up the variant feature Nature's Veil. This is just a fantastic bonus action, go invisible, incredible actually feature, sets up advantage all the time, lets you disengage when you need, very versatile, very powerful. At level 11, we're getting Fey reinforcements. This doubles down on the summon Fey. Lets us do it once for free per day, but lets us do it concentrationless now whenever we choose. So we can have multiple Fey up at a time, or we can combine it with other concentration spells like entangling someone and then having our Fey and ourselves go smack the crap out of them. So overall, what we built is somebody with a lot of flexibility. We have solid defense, both in AC and in saves. We have solid offense, no matter what the range is. We can do close range, medium range. We have control options, whether it be single target or it be groups. So we can do a lot of different things, all while maintaining really interesting synergies and flavor that come with the Stone Giant Feats and the Dreamwalker flavor. And that's the build. But with that, my friends, I hope you have yourselves an incredible day, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you then.